I invite you to center yourself and become aware of our connection with each other in this house of hope. Let's take a moment to lift up concerns for the community and the world. We lift up two members of the church who have lost dear beloveds this week. Carl Slivak's aunt, who he was tremendously close with his entire life, died this week. And Crystal Penn's father died. They were together in Toledo, Ohio. She was holding his hand until his last breath this week as he passed into peace. This has been an extraordinary week in the world and in our nation. So we lift up prayers of peace and recovery for the people of India, Bangladesh, and Nepal, devastated 8 days ago with a 7.8 earthquake and incredible aftershocks. Over 6,000 people died. Thousands remain unaccounted for. Countless people in massive suffering at this time. Our offering today, later in the service, every dollar will go to earthquake relief. And of course, we center our hearts on Baltimore. We lift up prayers for anybody who's ever been abused by police or anybody. We lift up our hearts for anyone affected by the violence this week. And given the fact that this is such an extraordinary week, I want to take just a moment, if I can beg your attention, to share a piece of a letter that the Unitarian Universalist minister of the church in Baltimore wrote to the denomination this week. This is from Reverend David Olson. He says, "Friends, we must not imagine that what's happening in Baltimore will be over for a very long time. There are cries for peace in our city and from outside our city. And some of those might imagine that getting back to normal is desired. I know that that is not even possible. The frustration of the young people in Baltimore is the frustration of a people who have known police harassment for their entire lives. The war on drugs created a culture that made it in many ways illegal to be poor, to be black, to live in the neighborhood you live in, and to hang out with your friends. This generation in Baltimore has faced a city where the zero tolerance policy criminalized childhood, criminalized growing up in East and West Baltimore, and that is not going to change, at least not quickly. This past week, many members of the community took back our neighborhoods. We occupied our space with courage and pride and joy. To see 300 men march, walking in their organized fashion and shaking hands, calling for peace, encouraging boys and young men, this was Baltimore. Watching Baptist churches hold services on the street corners, seeing Methodists chatting one-to-one with every person they could find, walking with robed Catholics who know the poor of their parish, this was Baltimore. Witnessing the gangs in their colors, claiming their territory and encouraging youngsters to obey the curfew, care for each other, don't give the police an excuse, this was Baltimore. Seeing the drum and pom-pom squad marching 70 strong with a corps of drummers and dozens of teenagers, mostly black, all fabulous, including many who identify as gay, strutting and shaking to the music for peace as the crowd cheered, showing their love, shouting their pride, this was Baltimore. Of course, you are welcome to come to Baltimore, and the UU Church of Baltimore Facebook page will be updated on a daily basis of what's up and how people can help. Reverend David ends by saying, I walk these streets every day with my tired body, shaking anyone's hand I can find, saying, I have come because my liberation is bound up with yours. May we work together. In this time of prayerful mindfulness, may we be aware of the infinite number of ways that Philadelphia is so similar to Baltimore, and that the liberation of all brothers and sisters is interwoven. We pray for peace and justice.